A storied rock legend gave a streaming service that has more than 172 million paid users an ultimatum this week. It's Joe Rogan or me. Neil Young told Spotify he didn't want to share a platform with the podcaster who has been accused of spreading misinformation about COVID-19 and the vaccine. Well, within days, it appeared that Spotify sided with Rogan and his 11 million listeners by removing Young's entire library. So what does this battle between Young and Spotify mean for the future of relationships between artists and the services that host their music? And could we see other artists do the same? So to discuss this, Jem Aswad, Deputy Music Editor at Variety, joins us now. Jem, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
So, Jem, first of all, Rogan hasn't commented on Young's stance, yet Spotify was really quick to make their decision and remove Young's whole catalog. So why do you think the company acted so quickly and really here in support of Rogan?
Because the relationships are different between the two of them. Joe Rogan has a deal with Spotify, and it's a $100 million deal. He's their biggest podcast by far, and they have him exclusively. They have that podcast exclusively. Neil Young, he is signed to Warner Records. His music is available on all the other streaming services. So it's not an apples to apples comparison necessarily. And
Sure.
They decided to stick with the person they have the one-on-one relationship with.
Yeah, absolutely. Understandable there. And Rogan's library is, of course, exclusive to Spotify. So how do you think that really plays in?
It is arguably the decisive factor.
Right.
You know, it's a deal that they need to protect. It also, as far as I can tell, makes them a lot more money than a relationship with Neil Young would. You know, they're paying out royalties to artists, right holders, not necessarily the artists themselves, usually the record companies. So it's really a different kind of relationship, and it's frankly not surprising that they would stick with the one that is A, exclusive, and B, making them a lot more money.
Right, of course, one of their most popular. So Young is a very principled artist. He's made other stances before. How do you think that played into this back and forth?
Anyone who's been watching Neil Young for the last 55 years or whatever would not be surprised by this.
Yeah.
He is, as you said, very principled. He makes stands for things. More than 50 years ago, he wrote the song Ohio with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, protesting the murders at Kent State of students by the National Guard. And throughout his entire career, he's made stands like this. And I would also point out, it's not the first time he's removed his music from Spotify. In 2015, he removed all of his music from all the streaming services because he felt the sound quality was bad. He's a big stickler for sound quality. He's a big stickler for principles. And once Neil Young digs in his heels, he's not moving unless he changes his mind.
Right, absolutely. So, I mean, you really touched on a lot of this here. He's had an astonishing long career, decades long. He's banked millions of dollars. And he did make a plea, though, to some other musicians to consider following suit. He asked that maybe they ask that their music be removed as well. But we didn't see any big names announce that they would join him. So do you think it was really easier for someone like him to take a stand and take that risk than perhaps a younger artist?
Oh, I mean, of course it is. Yes, he's 76 years old. He's released, I think, 40-something albums, if not more. And he just did a huge deal where he sold half of his publishing for a reported $100 million. He's fine. A lot of younger artists are not. And on top of that, Spotify is the #1 streaming service in the entire world except for YouTube. So most artists can't afford to do that.
Yeah, well, Jem, as always, we really appreciate your insight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.